to On the Shelf, episode number 23 of
Brutal Battle.
We just released one, but we're doing another one, and this one isn't on the shelf, but it's also kind of something
like
different.
On the shelf / at the brewery.
On the shelf / off the shelf. Yeah. So 2 of these beers are available at their respective breweries. I don't know if they're also going to end up being available at any actual retailers at this point, but you would have to look into that stuff. But 3 of these are local beers. One of them is very much not local, but it's a brewery we've never had anything from, and I'm excited for this. It's an interesting lineup. We have bookended this with sours, just so people know. So the first one will be a sour, the last one will be a sour, and there'll be 2 interesting ones in the middle. So the 2 in the middle are the ones that were given to us by the breweries. So we will call those out when we're going to have them, just so people know. You know, it's not like a sponsorship thing or anything, but it was gifted to us by the breweries, and that is why we're having them on the podcast. The other 2, the number 1 and number 4 beers, the sours, we just bought on our own, but we'll go over those. So that's what Rebecca means, that it's like on the shelf / at the brewery. Like, we're not sure about the number 2 and 3 beers, but have high hopes for this lineup, I'll say.
Should be good.
All right, so here we go. The first beer is from a brewery that we had beers from very recently when we did our Oktoberfest beer dinner, beer and food episode, and that's True Respite out of Rockville, Maryland, and this is their Tropic Cream. We picked up 2 cans of this when we went down there to get our Oktoberfest stuff, because I was like, man, this sounds interesting. I really want to try it. And that's another thing. I don't know if we talked about it on the Oktoberfest episode, the beer and food one, but they will allow you to buy 2 packs of beers.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So we were able to get a 2-pack of this, and we also got a 2-pack of their animatronic Kolsch.
Super tasty.
Yeah, we tried that off podcast. Really nice Kolsch. If people like Kolsch's, go to True Respite or find it at your local store and get that animatronic Kolsch. It is tasty. So here we're going to be getting into the Tropic Cream, and this is in a 16-ounce can. Actually, all these are in 16-ounce cans. It is a sour ale with pineapple and vanilla, which sounds amazing, and it is 6% alcohol. And you may end up at certain times
hearing
Chloe the cat making noise in the background as
she does her little guest appearances.
Like every time. She's got to make at least like a little bit of noise every single time we're recording. It's just her thing. Okay, here we go. So let's get into this. Tropic Cream.
Very yellow.
Okay. Yes, it is. Very yellow. Slight oranginess on the color, but yeah, pretty yellow. Can't see through it, which, you know, a lot of sours these days you usually cannot see through. So that's to be expected. The way we poured it, which is usually pretty agitated, decent head hanging out on top of it.
Definitely getting the pineapple. I'm
getting that little bit of that Naked Cheerio note that you love. It's not crazy, though. And it's at the end.
A little weedy. It smells a little weedy.
It does. It does smell wheat. A little bit of like a hay type note in there as well.
Getting a little lemon.
Yeah, lemony tartness to it. I'm definitely smelling the pineapple as well.
You getting the vanilla?
I'm not smelling specifically vanilla.
I'm not either.
I am smelling a little bit of a creaminess, which I think may be vanilla. Yeah, that may be the influence of the vanilla.
Smells good. It's not a strong nose though. It's pretty mild.
Yeah. I mean, as I sniff it more and more though, and I'm getting past that kind of like lemony tartness, I am picking up more of the actual kind of pineapple smell. So that's good. Let's go in. It's pineapple-y.
It's very pineapple-y.
It's definitely pineapple-y.
Too much, though. I feel like pineapple can be kind of a stronger flavor that you don't know if you want to drink in a beer unless you're drinking just straight up pineapple juice.
Yeah.
It's in check. It's phlegming me up.
Yeah, definitely getting that phlegm all around the mouth, really hitting me on the sides of my tongue as far as that sourness goes. And it is kind of more... It is like low-level sour, I would say. It's not in the tart category.
No, it's not. I know. I was kind of surprised. I thought this was going to be more of a tart and not a sour, but there's definitely a sourness to it.
Yeah, it's a little more serious.
Isn't necessarily my style, but I'm enjoying it. It's not over the top. It's approachable.
Are you getting vanilla in the flavor?
No, but I'm getting the creaminess.
Yeah, I get that creaminess, which I think is what the vanilla is actually doing there. But yeah, I'm not specifically tasting vanilla. I am definitely tasting plenty of pineapple.
Yeah.
And especially after the first few sips to get my palate acclimated to the sourness, getting more of the pineapple coming through. And I like it. It's good.
I do too. Are you getting the Naked Cheerio? I'm not.
Yeah, no, the pineapple covers it up.
Yeah.
Like, if I concentrate super, super, super hard, I can get, like, a faint hint of it at times in each sip. But that pineapple really covers it, in my opinion.
Definitely getting the lemoniness, though. Mm-hmm. I like it. It's good.
Honestly, I like that the pineapple covers up that Naked Cheerio because I'm not the biggest fan of that flavor, but probably a little disappointing for you.
Yeah, I could go either way.
Yeah.
It's good. That's a solid beer.
I like it. I am just disappointed that I'm not getting vanilla.
Yeah.
You know? Especially because this is something we've talked about recently. When it's called out as something in the beer on the label, like, you're wanting to taste that in there. Especially if you bought it from a store or something. You're just looking at it and being like, oh, I would love to taste pineapple and vanilla in this. Yeah. Definitely the pineapple, which is good.
That's why you buy beer.
But I want the vanilla. But still a good beer. I enjoy it. Okay, did our rinse. So, you want to introduce us to the next one, Rebecca?
Sure. So this next one is brewed in Hampstead, Maryland by Pipe the Side Brewing Company. It is their Night Jar, which is an ESB. And the ABV is 5.2.
5.2. Oh, man, if it was 2 something, I'd be like, automatically my new favorite beer, super sessionable, let's go. No,
5.2, which is also sessionable.
Yeah, no, that's true. So this is one that was given to us, and it was given to us by Pipe the Side via Jesse Johnson, who's one of the brewers / owners of Brewery Fire, because we went out there and picked up the beer that's our third beer. Yeah, our next beer we're going to be trying that's from Brewery Fire. But we showed up there, and he gave us a bunch of extra beer that I was like, we don't need all this, first of all, but thank you also.
We struggled to fit it in the fridge, but we did. And now we barely have room for food.
That's true.
I think we barely have room for food. Carlin is always like thinking it's like a Tetris game, and somehow miraculously fits in everything that we need.
Because if the threat of removing the beer from the fridge is there,
yes, I'm
going to make it work. And I do have to say, Jesse, you did this. You did this to our fridge. This is your fault.
It's really busting at the seams right now.
So when we picked up what he was giving us, he also was like, "Oh, I was at Pipe the Side, and they sent me back to the brewery with these beers to give to you guys." And I was like, "Oh, well, they didn't need to do that, but thank you very much to the Pipe the Side folks." We already drank 2 crowlers from them that they also sent us.
Very tasty.
We didn't want to wait on those to do a recording, so we saved the one in the 16-ounce can, which I'm actually most excited about because of what it is. And you already said ESB.
Yeah.
Love me a good
and
ESB.
Well, why don't you? The 2 crowlers we had were their brown ale and a wee heavy.
And we'll just tell you while I pour, for a wee heavy, the wee heavy was solid. I'm not huge into wee heavies, but they're good from time to time. I have to be in the right mood type thing. But that brown ale
was really good.
So what they were called, it was the Giant Haystacks was the, I believe Giant Haystacks was the wee heavy.
And Jack of All Trades?
Jack of All Trades, yes, was the brown ale. And here's the thing. Not that many brewers are making brown ales. So if you find a good brown ale and you like brown ales, latch onto that. So I would say get yourself to Pipe the Side if you want a good brown ale. Because that is it's a pretty exceptional brown.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Perfect for this time of year.
Oh, this looks beautiful. Clear beer. Oh,
clear beer.
I can
very
see
clear.
right through it. It's very orange, almost a little bit of a brown tinge.
Yeah, kind of amber.
I love the color on this. And I love the fact that it's clear. Some nice large bubbles kind of hanging out on the top.
It smells really good. It's like burnt sugar caramel.
Yeah, I think you nailed it pretty much. There's like a slight kind of honey.
Honey.
A little bit of a honey.
Definitely like a malt. Very malty.
Love that burnt sugar note in there. That's a really nice smell. Look, I like a nice ESB. That's another thing. A lot of breweries are not doing ESBs either. When you can find a good ESB, latch onto that. This smells really nice.
It does. Again, it smells like a perfect fall beer.
Oh, yeah. All right, going in. Easy.
Oh, it's
super
very
easy.
It tastes just like it smells, too.
It does.
You're getting that caramel. It's lighter on the mouthfeel.
It's really malty, but the maltiness isn't overbearing. Like with really malty beers, you can get like an overbearing malty sweetness to it, and this doesn't do that. There's a sweetness there, but it's not too much. It's good. It's a good amount of flavor, but it's also kind of light at the same time.
It is,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
It's very flavorful, but also light. Light and clean and crisp feeling.
And like the way it coats your mouth, it's like it's more viscous than it tastes.
Yeah, I like this.
It's interesting. But yeah, if you want just like a good, easy malty beer, this is tasty. This is a nice departure from a lot of beers that are out there, which is why I think we should really be talking more about doing styles like this again. Also, like the brown ale that they did, that Jack of all trades. Like we should do that more often. It's lower ABV. It's more focusing on the malty side of beers. And it's just offering something different, like a change of pace.
Yeah.
Get away from all the hoppy and sour stuff and
Yeah,
just chill out a little bit.
I was hoping we were going to like this because we have 3 more cans.
Yeah, they gave us a full 4-pack. But yeah, I like this quite a bit. Definitely getting that brown sugar too. And I'm definitely getting like a little bit of an alfalfa type finish to it.
Okay.
That I'm liking, and a little bit of that honey. Mm-hmm. There is a bitterness to it that's more than I expected based off the nose, but it's this really nice bitterness that just kind of pops in at the end and kind of like bumps the flavor up at the very end. I like the way it finishes. You know, especially with hazy IPAs being as popular as they are now, you don't get a lot of bitterness in the finish. So when you're finally drinking a beer that has like a nice kick of bitterness at the end, it's kind of refreshing in a way. It's like, yes, this is what I remember from old school beers.
I didn't get the bitterness initially, but with my last swig that I took, it definitely hit me.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I think when you take like a larger gulp of it is when you get more of that kind of like alfalfa type note as well. That's a nice beer.
Yeah, I like it.
I really like how easy that is. All right, let's rinse. Okay, and like we already teased for you, our third beer is a beer from Brewery Fire. Now, this is one that Jesse Johnson himself reached out to us and said, could you please review this on the podcast? So, they have a release coming up for it on the 30th of October.
29th.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
29th at noon.
You got it. Okay, there you go. Listen to Rebecca, not me. 29th of October at noon, they're going to be releasing it at their brewery in Tannytown. I think I'm saying Tannytown wrong, but...
How do you think you say it?
I don't know.
Oh.
No, I just think it's wrong, but all I know to say is Tandytown. I'm just saying. So
Someone will correct us.
The next time we see Jesse, he can correct us. Yes, he can tell us. So anyway, you can get it there. Hopefully it's good. We let him know we're going to evaluate it blind on the podcast, as in we haven't consumed this beer before. And he was like, yeah, all good. Let's do it.
I'm nervous. I hope we like it.
Yeah. Because we're going to be honest if we're not big fans.
I'm nervous about what it is, because style-wise, this is not a style I like.
This isn't Rebecca's thing. So this beer, also in a 16-ounce can, is called The Nine. Yes, it's a reference to Lord of the Rings, which Rebecca would have no idea about.
I had no idea. I was like, what is this a reference to? I have no idea.
Yes, Jessie, be appalled right now that she has never seen any Lord of the Rings. It's crazy. So this is The Nine. This is a stout that was done with oak staves that were port wine oak staves. Then it was done with blackberries, raspberries, plum, and cacao nibs. So it sounds very complex and interesting. I'm hoping that is the case. But here's one of the very interesting things to me. After going through all that stuff, and it's basically a barrel-aged beer, even though it's, staves, 8%.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I mean, having an imperial stout nowadays that's lower ABV, like 8% or lower, is very uncommon. I like that more sessionable approach to a beer like this. But we'll see how it tastes.
I don't like that it's in a 16-ounce can, too, because you often have these big beers that are in large format
750s,
bottles.
500s.
Hard to consume, need to have lots of friends around. So this is definitely doable.
Yeah. I'm in a great... Jesus.
That's filled.
That is up to the top. Jesse not taking any chances as far as oxidation goes here. Not taking chances.
Okay, you did an excellent job pouring. No dribbles.
Well, I've been psyching myself up before I'm doing my pours lately. I'm like, go aggressive, go aggressive. Because the reason I was doing kind of like a little bit lighter before is I'm like, I don't want to put a lot in the glass because we're not going to drink it all right now. We're moving down the lineup. So, okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it looks like an Imperial Stout.
Dark.
It's got a decent brownness on the head, actually. Nice tan. Swirling it up. Smell.
Definitely getting the fruit.
There's a fruit. There's a really nice kind of like chalky, dark chocolate.
Yes. I don't think I can't pick out what fruit. I mean, I know what fruit is in it, but I couldn't pick anything out. It just smells like fruity.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a vague fruit.
I mean, this smells like a dark berry. That's probably coming from... And there are dark berries in there.
True. The blackberry.
Definitely getting a wood characteristic.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that stave characteristic. It's coming off a little bit tannic. You know how you get like tannins from wine, especially like red wines? There's a little bit of that tannic note in there, which I think is folding into the bitterness in the nose.
Yeah.
There's a real malty roastiness that's almost bordering on a little bit of a coffee to it, but not quite there. Because for me, like coffee, like roasted coffee versus like very roasted malt, they can be similar smells, but there's kind of like that line where it'll like cross over, and I feel like this is getting kind of close to that line to crossing into like a coffee roasty smell, but it's not quite there. But I like the smell. I get a little chocolatey.
I was just going to say chocolate. I'm definitely getting chocolate.
And there is like kind of a creaminess on the nose, which I was not expecting.
Okay, I can see that.
It smells good, though.
It does smell good.
It smells like a good stout. Let's go in. Oh.
This is very good. It's so smooth. I'm getting all the berries, and it's so smooth and rich and chocolatey. It's like a dream.
What I enjoy about this most is that every component gets its moment. Mm-hmm. And that rhymes.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that ahead of time. No, but like when I first took my sip, I got this blast of the berries.
Yeah.
It was the raspberry and the blackberry kind of working in unison. I can't say I'm getting plum.
Plum is kind of a mild flavor too.
Right. But I got like this kind of quick hit of blackberry and the raspberry blend, which was really nice, but it wasn't like super crazy. Like it's not blowing out your palate. And then it just dies down, and as the flavor perception of the berries die down, the perception of that roasty kind of drying note on the end with the chocolate builds up. And it's like two waves of flavor. That's very interesting. So it's all the components of the beer, but in taking their turns. Well, that's coming in at the end.
I think that's coming
with that kind of like woodiness to it and that tannic note that's going along with the bitterness in the finish.
I was super nervous about this beer, but I really like this. I was nervous because I don't love port wine barrel aged anything. Yeah. But this is very approachable. So
there is a bit of a finish on the end that I see the inspiration from that port wine, and trying to kind of like get port wine in the overall beer. It's got that kind of like fruity tannic finish to it with a little bit of sweetness, which port wine usually has, a nice sweetness to it. And then it's like you perceive the alcohol a little bit. And that's what I usually get with ports, is there's like a little bit of like an alcohol hotness. But with this, it's there, but it's there for like a blink, and then it's gone. And I feel like that's part of the experience of the port aspect.
Yeah, this is a really interesting beer because it's so complex, yet so approachable.
This is reminding me of something. What does this reminding me of?
You're going through your Rolodex of beers in your head.
Yes, I am. Luscious. Was that by Founders? It was an Imperial Stout with raspberry.
Oh.
This is like the version of Luscious that I wanted. Because they used like flavorings that tasted like flavorings. It didn't taste good.
Yeah, the fruit in this does not... I mean, this is like legit fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes really good.
It tastes that way. It's really nice. I just love how it's like half and half.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually kind of takes me to when I first experienced Beelzebub by The Alchemist, when they had, because that's a generously hopped Imperial Stout, and it was like I was drinking two beers at the same time, just like blended together, and you could distinctly taste the hoppy like IPA part of it and like the roasty Imperial Stout part of it. That's what this beer is like to me. Like, I'm tasting like the really nice Imperial Stout base to it, but then separately I'm also tasting like a nice fruit beer that has that, well, a lot of the raspberry and blackberry coming through. And then there's that port kind of sweetness and everything in there. And it's easy too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
Is I think so surprising to me.
It's really easy, and there is the chocolate. I don't want to undersell the chocolate.
Yeah.
It's more like a dark chocolate than milk, but it's good.
I think that's how all Brewery Fire beers are, though. They're just so approachable, so tasty, so finessed, so smooth.
Well, yeah, and none of them really, like, blow you out. You know, like, nothing, if you're doing a sour, it's not like, oh my gosh, this is too sour, you know? Mm-hmm. So, which we when we went to pick up the beers from Jesse at Brewery Fire, we tried through almost their entire tap list at that point. All good.
All good.
Not it. It was either all good to really good. And I'm gonna say something that Jesse's gonna shake his head at. He had a cider on tap that was amazing. Like, I'm not big on ciders, and every time I see cider on tap at a brewery, I'm like, not drinking that.
Well, it was a beer hybrid. It was a cider beer hybrid.
Yeah, but it was like caramel apple cider. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what it was? And it had like a little cinnamon in it too. So it was like caramel, cinnamon, apple. Obviously, the cider. It was phenomenal. Like, Rebecca wanted to try it, and I'm like, fine, we can get in a flight. That's fine. And then I tried it, and I'm like, I just keep coming back to this.
It was really tasty. We ended up getting a full pour.
Yeah.
I'm like, because it was so unique tasting. I'm like, I just want more.
Yeah, it was something. Anyway.
Okay. Last beer.
All right, good beer. So the last one, this one is coming all the way from Florida. You looked it up. Dolan, Florida, or Doral, Florida.
Yeah.
I think is what it's called. Doral, Florida.
Doral, Florida.
So this is a beer in their single series, which I don't even know what that means. The brewery is Tripping Animals, and the beer is 1,400 pounds of peach. That's what it's called.
That's the name?
Yeah. The name is 1,400 pounds of peach. It's a sour ale with peach, and it is 6% alcohol. Are like all of these except
the low. The 9 was the highest.
Yeah, at 8, but the other 3 are 6. I like that.
Well, the ESP was 5.2.
Oh, it was 5.2, so even lower. I like that even more. All right. Let's get into this. And this is the first time we're ever having anything by Tripping Animals, because we had never even heard of them. We picked them up at the Perfect Pour, like we had talked about in our last On the Shelf episode, that we went to Perfect Pour and picked up a bunch of stuff that we've never seen before, because they have an insane selection, and we will be going back at some point. Oh, yep. It looks very hazy.
Yellow and hazy.
Yeah, very yellow. Very, very yellow. What do I want out of this? What's my expectation? Peach. I want a lot of peach, please. If I'm not getting the peach, I'm going to be really mad.
It smells like peach.
Yes, it does smell like peach.
It smells super sour.
Yeah, it does smell pretty sour. It's got a little bit of that kind of like funkiness in the nose.
It does smell funky.
Like a slight Brett at play.
It doesn't smell like a beer I'm going to like.
No. But who knows? I mean, maybe that's just the nose.
Yeah,
maybe
you never know. I'm certainly going to drink it. But I like there's a strong fruit, which I like.
Right. There's not a lot to the smell. It's just like smells lemony sour, and it smells like peaches, and it's got that bit of a funkiness to it, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
It smells like it'll be a little creamy though too.
Okay, let's try.
Oh, It's like peach juice.
Yeah.
I do like it, but it's very sweet. It's pretty sour, but it's also really sweet at the same time.
Tastes like it has a lot of peach in it. I mean, okay, well, I know that, but I mean, it's like overly peached.
I like it. I think it's good. I think it's one of those beers that's really good for people who aren't that big into beer.
Yeah.
Or, you want to have a beer, but you want to go with a beer that's tastes a lot less like a beer at that moment. It's very juice driven.
Yes.
What are you looking for?
Right. Are you looking for a beer? Or are you looking for peach juice?
Right. If I'm looking for a sour beer that tastes like a sour beer, I'm not going to get this.
No.
But it tastes good. I do enjoy it. I like the level of peach to it. I like that it has that bit of funkiness on the end. But like I said, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
There's a decent amount of sourness to it. There isn't as much sourness as I thought there would be based off the nose.
I know,
though.
agreed. It's very light on the sour.
It is a good beer. Kelly Norman would enjoy this. Mm-hmm. Kelly and Kyle Norman, seek this one out for Kelly. Kelly, you'd be a fan.
She likes sours and she loves peach.
And I know you're probably let down because no Naked Cheerio flavor.
No Naked Cheerio. Mm-hmm. Man, this is a solid lineup. I'm going to have a tough time ranking these.
I'm going to have a good time enjoying the rest of them.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, for me, this might be my number 4, this peach beer. It's good, but I want more I want more beer. Mm-hmm. Like, I want it to taste more of like a beer.
Well, and the thing is, it's where a lot of sours have moved nowadays, is going a lot heavier on the purees, a lot heavier on just the fruit flavors, versus letting you know it's a beer.
Yeah.
And that's why we say, like, that's a great entry point right now for people who want to get into beer.
Yeah, we'll see if there's sludge at the bottom of this.
You could probably do it now if you wanted to, but I think I need to retaste the Tropic Cream a little bit.
Yeah, hit me up with that.
Hit you with the Tropic... Oh, ooh.
What?
I think my perception of the pineapple's up. Yeah, it's even more pineapple-y. And as it's warmed up,
yeah.
I get the slightest hint of vanilla.
Yeah,
just very
agreed.
Slight, but I just want more vanilla. Okay. Are you going to move these around or something?
I don't know how to rank these.
They're very different.
Because it's hard because I like them all for different reasons, so it's hard to kind of say which one I like more.
The only two you can clearly compare are the sours, right. Obviously, because they're kind of similar.
Tropic Cream is superior to the...
You're going to tip your hand like that so early? I mean, oh my gosh.
You're going to back and try the 9?
Yeah. Oh, did you want some of that? Because I just poured it for you.
You just poured it for me.
Whether you want it or not, you're having more. The 9's very interesting.
Yeah. I'm just so glad that the stout is like in the forefront.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not lost in the fruit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lost in anything.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a stout. Undeniably, it's a stout.
Be honest. You're most excited that the port wine staves aren't way more out of kilter in that.
And like for some people, they might be disappointed because it's not as strong in the port wine.
Right. Sure.
But for me, it's like perfect.
Yeah, but from what I understand, it wasn't about like port wine taking over the beer. It was about kind of like an homage to a port wine in beer form.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, how are you doing this? Oh, that's your ranking.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's a little different, so you go ahead and tell yours.
Okay. Tell my tale. So my number 4 is the Tripping Animals 1,400 pounds of peach, the sour ale with peach. My number 3 is the Nightjar ESB by Pipe the Side. My number 2 is the Tropic Cream by True Respite.
That's the sour with pineapple and vanilla.
And my number 1 is the 9.
Which is, do you remember?
No.
Imperial Stout aged with port wine staves, barrel staves, raspberries, blackberries, plum, and cacao nibs. Yes, all that jazz. Okay, so I'm a little different. So my 4 is the 1,400 pounds of peach. That's the same. My 3 is actually going to be the Tropic Cream.
Okay.
My 2 is the Nightjar ESB. I really like that ESB. And I'm very excited that we have 3 more of them. And obviously my number 1 is the 9, which I'm very relieved about. Although I feel like it's a thing where Jesse wouldn't have contacted us and been like, I really want you to try this if it didn't come out well.
That's true.
So the fact that he was asking us to try it on podcast, he probably felt pretty confident that we would enjoy it. And we did really enjoy it.
Yeah, I like it way more than I thought I was going to.
Good. That's awesome.
I was like, I'll probably like some characteristics about it, but I don't know if I'm going to really love it. But
I just like how restrained it is.
Yeah.
You know, like with a beer like that, it could just be like out of control with the booze. It could be out of control with the fruit. But he made sure that the flavors
they're all in check. They're all balanced. They all, like you said, they all
together. Except obviously the plum's not really perceived.
Yeah.
But, you know, did you need the plum really? That's what I would say.
I don't know. I'd be curious to try the beer with and without the plum to kind of compare, to kind of see what you get.
The only thing I would say, Jesse, if you're listening to this, and I think he probably is, I would recommend just putting what is in the beer on the can, because that's not on this can, and that can be like an additional selling point for people like us. Like if we're looking at it and in the store and we just see, oh, it's an Imperial Stout 8%, and we don't see any description that there's all that extra stuff in it.
That's true.
You know, but then again, I don't know if he's planning on putting this in the store or anything like this in the future in the store, and maybe just doing it as releases at the brewery. Because in that case, you just tell people like this is what it is. But you know, just a thought. I feel like for us, if we saw this, we'd probably pass on it.
Well, I don't know. We like stouts.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, when you then put all the information on of what's in there,
we'd be more likely to
right, that's going to lock us in.
Yeah.
So, just saying. Just a little bit of advice, that's all. Take it or leave it. Okay. And like I said, I don't know what the plan is for these.
Well, I'm excited because I'm going to go take a bubble bath and drink some beer and read a book.
Yeah, Rebecca's been talking about this bubble bath for a while, and she was like, should I do the bubble bath before or after we do the beer? And I was like, why wouldn't you want to drink beer while you're in your bubble bath? Let's record first.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Then you can drink beer and relax even more in your bubble bath. Okay, well, this is a great episode, so thank you very much to Pipe the Side. Thank you very much, obviously, to Jesse and Brewery Fire. Good beers, you guys. We need to get to Pipe the Side.
Yeah.
We will be going back to Brewery Fire because we've been there a few times. We always like it. But we need to go to Pipe the Side because the 3 beers we had, we're down, especially this ESB and especially that brown.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the brown and the ESB
are kind of like
they're kind of like same level.
I think I like the ESB
more than the brown.
Yeah,
I'd have to try them side by side, but they're pretty close to me.
Yeah,
like I can't decide right now.
I like the caramel note.
Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Hey, if there are other breweries out there listening, you want to get us some beers that you want on episodes like this, you can let us know. BrutalBattlePodcast@gmail.com, or you can also hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah, Brutal Battle Podcast.
And people out there, do us a favor of subscribing to the podcast, rating us and reviewing us with whatever podcatcher you listen to. iTunes helps us the most. Word of mouth, tell people about the podcast. We do appreciate that a lot. We're on Untapped, so you can be friends with us there. We can be virtual buddies, virtual beer buddies. I'm Carlin Cook or Carlin C.
Rebecca C.
And if you want back episodes, you can go to archive.org and search Brutal Battle, or you can just go to the website, Brutal Battle, but you'll just have to listen to stuff there, which is a little antiquated, but you know what? We're not super high tech.
Yeah, we just record this from our living room.
It's a hobby. We're making $0. We're actually spending a lot. Living the dream, though, right? Anyway, thanks everyone for checking this out, and until next time.
Keep it brutal.